Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing tonight on this wonderful, wonderful night? Anyways, so today's discussion, Miss Star showed me a report in California. Uh, this discussion is how prepared are you? The end times are coming slowly but surely. It's coming. SHTF, everything that people have been talking about and going crazy. Hey David, how you doing, brother? David, would you like to come up, sir? Thank you, sir. Thank you, brother. Hey Uncle Al, how you doing? So Miss Star showed me a report and everything that just happened maybe less than 24 hours ago. California is now having train robbers to pretty much destroy train shipments of needed materials and everything throughout the country. Um, they are Amtrak is has millions upon millions of dollars from trains that have been robbed and ransacked, from food to everyday materials to vaccines to even the COVID tests. Um, they're on a 24-hour security watch now because so much items are littering the train tracks in San Diego right now. Yeah. Um, but it's not just that. Um, the train the train robberies is a major part of it also, but there's also over the road trucks, shipping trucks that are stopped on the side of the road, and people are following these, breaking into the trailers while these truck drivers are on the side of the road because they're being overworked, no sleep, just to get things out. And a lot of people are now following these trucks and breaking into them. Yeah, yeah, Uncle Al. And it's hitting it's hitting hard right now. It's hitting people really hard, especially grocery stores, um, places like Walmart, things like that of that nature. Um, but it's becoming it's becoming bad, and it's becoming in times right now. It's got to a point where it's shit has hit the fan. Um, they've arrested over a thousand. They've arrested over 1,000 individuals and trying to clean up the mess that they've made and everything. Also, Um, but still to no avail because there's still people, even though that they're getting arrested, and these people are getting arrested. These people are still making hundreds of thousands of dollars on this loose. And there goes an alarm set. Most grocery stores are closing early now because of lack of stock. Hey, AP. Hey, Nubby, bro. But the end of times are coming. Lack of food deliveries, lack of stock, train robberies, shipping containers being broken into, things. And I'm going to show you what's happened in just the last month here in Texas. I'm walking into HEB right now, which is the local grocery store of our community of Texas, San Antonio. Let me turn this around. Hey, Klingon. Oh, I'm doing all right, country. Hold on. Let me flip y'all around. All right. So, like fresh chickens, they don't keep fresh chickens anymore. The rotisserie chickens, because they're running out of fresh chicken. Um, their trucks aren't even stocked full. Look at the empty shelves of everything. This is just in the frozen food alone. Going all the way down just one aisle. Everything is running out. There's empty shelves left and right. I mean, even beer is running out. Potatoes, fresh, fresh vegetables. Look, completely out. Yeah, no, no. Like, there's people out here. Even the bread is out. Yeah, everything is running out. We don't have enough natural resources for humans at all. I mean, there is some things that you can still get, but the majority of stuff is running out. And they're putting out stock, but this is all that they have. You see, for this whole entire thing, they only got what, six, 9 cases. This is what I'm trying to say. Are you ready for this? Are you stockpiled? You may think you have enough, but in reality, you need more than what you have planned and stocked up. Right? The pasta is completely out, and they just don't have the resources coming in because of everything that's happening to stockpile. Tomato sauces, even the beans is about to run out. Rice, and this is every day, and it keeps getting lower and lower. How y'all doing? Oh, trying to make it, brother. All the soup, all the broths, diced tomatoes, and it's not, like I said, it's not just certain items. It's everything that's not being replenished. Even good old baking soda is running out. Flour. This is real. This is real shit. You may think, oh, the government's going to protect you, the government's going to help you. No, they ain't. You are the only one that can help yourself. That's why you stop. That's why you prep, is because of all this. We're getting the pork. don't have enough. This world is too small to feed the mass amount of people that's here. Look at all the cereals, all the oats and the grains. They're all gone. You may not see a problem here, but you're not looking. Rolled oats, basic oats. You can't, it's out. And this is a huge grocery store. And they even have their own, and they even have their own way of making their own brand of food and everything. And they're still running out. I'm not trying to fear monger. I am trying to show you the truth. I am trying to show you what's really going on. That's what my channel is about, is to help you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, David. This is reality. This is what's happening with this world. Fresh fruit, like applesauce, everything. Even raisins are running out. Dried fruit, crackers, cheese. Look, a whole entire aisle of nothing. Another aisle of completely nothing. Fruit juices, cokes, orange juice. Right. This is not a joke. Uh, you may think it's fear mongering, but it's not. This is real. This is real life. I have no clue, Klingon. I really don't. Look how small a stock they have, and they just got their truck like an hour ago. There's not enough stock to even stock this store. because there's not enough items. Water, the one thing that you need. Look, even the toilet paper is going down again. People, look, they brought tea over here to stock with the toilet paper. So there's your answer, Klingon. They're bringing whatever that they can to stock up. Cleaning supplies, garbage bags. Yeah, look at all the cleaning supplies. Even the medication is even the medication is completely wiped out. There's all the dairy products. Yeah, look, dog food, animal food. You have to prep for your animals too. All the dog food and cat food are out. Everything. They made a middle aisle with all the last minute like juice mixes and juice in the middle of a store instead of in the place where it's supposed to be. Are you ready for this? Do you believe you're ready? Do you think you have enough? If you think you have enough, make your stockpile 10 times bigger. Because this is just the beginning. You think it was bad at the beginning of 2021 with toilet paper issues? People have got smart now. People are now stockpiling food. People are now grabbing everything that they can. Stock. How you doing, Aquarius brother? This world is going down. This world, this world is running out. It's running out of resources. This is one grocery store. One. And look how many grocery stores and everything else is around. Popeye's Chicken was closed today because they ran out of chicken. They did not have any chicken or anything. Our local pizza place closed down today because they ran out of stock of cheese. They could not make pizza without cheese. Uno momento, everyone.
All right, sir, what else you doing?
I'm glad. I'm crying on for you, brother. Hey, Jack's brother, how you doing? Sorry, I'm just shocked by everything that's going
All right. Here, fill them up. As long as they don't get too heavy.
on. Yeah, for you. It's already happening. Trying to buy some orange juice.
So essentially. Whatever that's
How you doing, brother? I just need that, and I need a pack of Pall Mall Red 100s.
all right.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, just throw that away. I don't need it. Y'all have a good one. Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, have a good one.
You too. So, so, the question is, yeah, that's one of the things that's one of the things that's happening out here. I mean, if you know anything about gardening, if you know anything at all about growing your own stuff, do it now. Let me let me flip the camera back around. And here's the thing. This isn't this isn't going to stop. Sorry, but this isn't going to stop. It's not going to stop anytime soon. And, people made fun of the toilet paper crisis of 2021, right? People thought it was all fun and good and laughing. Now it's evolved. And I told people this back in 2021. I said they were scare buying. They were afraid of not being able to clean themselves, right? Well, here's the thing. That year that people were taking in hiatus, being alone and realizing that they were running out of food, and it was hard to get out to get food. It's now came the running out of food scare is now on top of everything else. Not only are they scare buying food, they are scare buying cleaning supplies. They are scare buying toilet paper again. They are scare buying everything. Not true, Jax. You can plant inside. As long as you have soil in a container, you can grow anything. All you have to do is just make room for it in wherever you're at. What's up, Bama? Yeah. Well, here, everybody drinks liquor, David. You know, there's a liquor store on every corner. You know, there's a liquor store right beside HEB that sells liquor. But the thing is, people can barter, people can use liquor to numb the pain, to numb the fear. You know what I mean? And also, if you need to, you can use liquor to clean, you know? Yeah. This is reality. This is just the tip of the iceberg of 2022. Everybody's saying, "Oh, we wished we were just it would be a better year, everything would be better." 2021 2021 was the tip of the iceberg. Now it's trickling down, and now you're seeing the actual size of what's going to happen. There's not enough supply chains. There's not enough over the road truckers. There's not enough people being able to work in the factories to supply us. You got to think, for every one person that goes in and comes out of that store, or goes in and orders a 20-piece chicken meal at a fast food restaurant, they are feeding more than just that one person. It's a constant chain, chain and demand. Hey, kitten sis, this is going downhill, and it's going downhill fast. Right, Clay God. You can do the same thing with bean sprouts too. Yeah, I think that's what you're talking about, bean sprouts. Yeah, you can do it with bean sprouts. You can do it with any kind of microgreens. You don't really need soil for microgreens. Yeah, people people are actually, the world is not getting any better. The world is not. The world is the world's going to a dark place. Oh crap. Uh, hold on, AAP, bro. Hold on. Here, let you up, AAP, so you can talk, because I know you're having a problem with only typing one word at a time. Hold on, brother, because I can't make you a mod on my phone. Oh, hold on. Let's get people up here. Let's discuss this. Nice, Bama. Oh, you can't get up? Crap, I can't make you a mod right now, AAP. It's okay, AAP. Um, do what you need to do and everything. Uh, do what you need to do, AAP, and the link will be in the chat and just pop up. Because I know you're trying to prep too, AAP, and I know you have a good family and you have a big family that you need to prepare for. So I want to get your opinion on this also, for somebody that's not technically a prepper point of view. Yeah. All right. So there's a link right there. I'd like to get, I can only have 5 other people up here. I don't have, you know, I don't have the unlimited StreamYard, but I know us preppers and everything are on this channel, but I want to get non-preppers opinions on this. I want to get people that are working the 9 to 5, that are trying to do this, that is not a part of our community. You know what I mean? I want to wake up people. Yeah, right, right, Aquarius, brother. This this fear buying not only puts everybody at danger. We're going to run into another Venezuela. We're going to run into another supply issues. It's not just right now. It's going on. This is still trickling down. It's like a busted pipe. That crack will continue to crack and will continue to grow down the pipe. until it gets fixed. But the thing is, we don't have the supply to fix the problem that's at hand. See, that's the problem. That's the problem, Bama. We can't we can't put our faith in a higher power. I mean, to change what's going on. Even in the Bible, it says for man to take care of himself. God gave us the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to handle these situations. But we have got so lax and we've got so spoiled with the be able to go to a grocery store and get everything that, and we have a fast food restaurant on the corner of every mile, half a mile. You know, you may run into 5 or 6 fast food store places not even a mile away from each other. We are running our resources to the very end. And I'm not bashing on people. I'm not bashing on people that have X amount of children. You know, 100+ years ago, families having 8+ children, they were needed. They were needed to help on the farm. They were needed to help with daily tasks around the house. But in this day of society, there is no point in having 8 children. Because you got to think those 8 children are going to be raised up thinking the same way as you. Those 8 children are going to get married within 20 years, 30 at max. Those children are going to have between 4 and 5 more children. That, do the math on that. In over 40 years, that's over 100 people. Yeah, AAP, bro. The government has made us weak, has made us dependent on them. They've made us dependent on food stamps. They've made us dependent on Medicare. They've made us dependent on hospitals. They've made us dependent on everything. At one time, God made this earth plentiful, brother. But you got to look at the expansion of humanity since the beginning of time. Back when the Bible was written, we had a quarter of the population that we have today. There was plenty to go around. I hear some that. Boom. Hey, brother.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
Nothing much, brother. Just seeing the world go to hell in a handbasket.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to notice a lot of that around here. Stores with empty shelves. Yeah, I got into an argument with a woman not too long ago. She's just saying,
Yeah.
Look at these shelves. They're empty. These people are like too lazy to stock the shelves. I'm like saying, no, they got
Yeah,
nothing to stock them with. Oh, she didn't even believe it. She was like, oh, they fixed that problem. I'm like, yeah, sure
right.
they did.
See, yeah, that's the thing. We want to pass the blame onto other things. We don't want to actually recognize what's really happening. It it's been that way for the last 50 plus years, you know, and it started 10 years ago when the mass floodings in the mid south in the Midwest
Mhm.
happened, where thousands of pounds of beef and pork and chickens were swept away by the mass flooding. Farms were destroyed, and that put us back. That put us into our back stock that we're supposed to keep, and we haven't recovered from it since. And it's one of those things that when something traumatic happens, it's hard to, it takes almost 30 years to gain back the stock, not only the back stock that we went through, but also keeping up to date with whatever supply and demand that's going on now. But people don't want to see it.
Oh,
People believe
yeah,
the government.
yeah, it's happening everywhere. I mean, first things to disappear were certain types of candy bars. Then
Hmm.
it was like other things, and just now it's like pretty much everything.
Right. And they they said, they Harvard did a study that um, every one family goes through at least 6 chickens a day for whatever purpose.
Hmm.
Chicken nuggets, uh, 23, like a 20-piece meal, whatever,
Hmm.
because the majority of food in fast food restaurants is chicken based.
Oh yeah, pretty
And
much.
yeah, and a
Chicken or
family
beef.
of 3 people, right? And a family of 3 people going through 6 chickens a day, and that's one family. And there is how many billions of people in this world that need that same resource every day coming through? It's
Oh
hard.
yeah.
I mean, the math just doesn't add up for it. And it's one of those, like 100 years ago, the only place that you were actually getting real beef or anything was your local butcher, and even then they only allowed you to have a certain amount of, pounds of beef or pork or whatever a day. But 100 years now in the future, you can buy whatever you want. You know, uh, there's 20-pound, briskets that you can buy, and that's that's every day. But everybody needs to prep. It's not just the crazy people that are living a doomsday theory. You know. Hey, Cassie, sis, how you doing?
Hey, oracles.
And people think, oh, we can just run, go out and shoot a deer or process a deer or whatever. You know, that's going to change here in the next 10 years. I mean, Texas is already talking about mass producing deer and selling deer meat in supermarkets to put less of a strain on beef or pork or chicken using
Mhm.
natural wildlife. And it's like the government is about to take control of nature because we just can't keep up with it. And, it's one of those things. Every human needs water to survive. Everybody needs food to survive. You can last longer without food than you can water, but it's you need to check and see if your land is if you're able to be able to check and drill on your own land for a natural water source. And if you can't, it's going to be rough times for you, because I saw people in that store with 4 or 5 cases of 24 packs of bottled water.
Mhm.
And that's going to be, a lucrative barter item. People thought, 20 years ago, oh, preppers were crazy. Preppers were, hey, Kill Hut, how you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, Gil Hut?
But we have to look, especially in cities that don't have too much natural water resources. Like most of the western states, California, Nevada, Arizona, Texas, like these places, once they run out of water, there's no saving it. Even here in Texas, we have went to recycling gray water, like purifying gray water and redistributing it out to people.
Yeah, I've
And,
heard about that.
hmm
Oh yeah, they're definitely
and
doing stuff like that.
yeah, and it's getting to the point where we're just because we purify it doesn't mean that it still wasn't some nasty whoever taking a bath in that water and it's now going into your stomach. And people are worried about drinking out of a natural river more than they are drinking purified water from the city. Eh, I just, after Miss Star told me about what was going on in California, because I don't have cable anymore. I don't have, natural TV where I can get up to date news anymore. But after she told me that there's train robberies on Trans Am going on in California, it's got to that point. It's got to the SHTF situation, and it's just now the beginning of 2022. Wished for peace. We wished for a better year. And, oh, you know, I told people at the beginning of, this epidemic that that the toilet paper shortage and everything was just a facade. It was fear buying. Wait until they realize after they've been in their house for a year and running out of food, the next step is going to be food shortages.
Mm-hmm.
And now I hate to say I told people this, but people just wanted to live their fairy tale, Hey, Shadow Brother. You missed it. I was showing that, people are buying out everything from our grocery stores and the shelves are literally empty. And I started this live stream because Miss Star showed me a thing in California that people are train robbing and hitting supply trains, and STHF is actually hitting the fan right now, Shadow, over here in the United States. It was bad, it started in Europe, and I didn't want to jump on that bandwagon, on that hype train, because I know I know that like Germany was doing contracts with US and having them come over to Germany to do supply chains. And but I thought, they were just doing that to get back on their feet. And I didn't look at how it's affected us now. Because it doesn't matter if you have factories that can make food and distribute the food, but if you don't have anybody to deliver it, it's just, not having the food. Hey, Tyler, brother.
Hey, Tyler, what's up?
Shadow. I will put a link. Hold on, give me a second. I'm driving. The wife wants a Dr. Pepper, so I'll put a link in the chat if you want to come up. Paste chat. All right, there we go. So what are you doing? I mean, do you have any stockpiles, David? Like any preps or anything for like this kind of situation?
Oh yeah, yeah. I got all kinds of stuff. I stock up. My dad stocks up. Pretty much everybody on my team has a stockpile of
Okay,
stuff. Canned food, dried foods, dehydrated foods, plenty of
good.
rice,
Okay,
beans.
yes. That's the one thing, that's the one thing that you can survive on for years is rice and beans. It's just as long as you got enough, seasonings for it. Because that's the one thing that I've learned is eating the same flavor over and over and over again. And you get to a point where you just don't crave it anymore. Like your stomach won't take it no more. Hey Chad, how you doing, brother? Showing the reality that 2022 is shit hit the fan. All grocery store, like the grocery stores and everything, are running out of stock. I mean, people in California are now gone to train robbing supply trains, and they're also hitting supply rigs. Like, there was a report and everything, I want to say last week, that there was 3 food trucks that were parked and getting ready for in the morning for deliveries, and they came in the next morning, and all 3 of the food trucks were completely robbed of all food. It's getting to that point. So I done this. Hey Beth, sis, how you doing? You're throwing me off with that upside down, backwards,
Yeah, right. Hey, Beth.
right? Oh, hey Shadow brother.
Hey, bro.
Hey.
Hey, Shadow.
Hey, David.
So yeah, I know you just came in, but I was showing like just one grocery store that's right down the street from me. This grocery store provides the whole entire community of Spring Branch with all their food and everything. And all their shelves are bare. Everything. Like from peanut butter to soup to everything. And it's getting to the point where there is not enough stock and not enough deliveries to take care of everybody. Even the fast food restaurants around here are shutting down because they don't have, like, there's a place here called Popeye's Chicken, which is like a fried chicken place, Shadow, and they shut down around 6 o'clock because they literally ran out of chicken, and they're not going to get any more until I want to say like Thursday. And even the pizza places around here ran out of cheese. Like, you can't make pizza without cheese. So
Actually, you can, but not too many people
well,
like those other kinds of pizzas. If you want to
yeah,
go with veggies and yeah, there's other kinds of pizza, but
yeah. But that was their main excuse to shut down. They said that they're out of
yeah,
cheese, so they just ended up locking their doors.
yep, cheese, bread,
Yeah,
probably
and
burger meat. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, even the vegetables in our grocery store were running out. So, even trying to make like a vegetarian pizza or anything, is going to be hard getting your hands on, natural resources like that. This world is, I don't know.
Turning upside down.
I don't. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, brother. It's actually, there was, I guess you can call them, the forefathers of prepping, during the Great Depression and, the Dust Bowl and everything. They said within the next 200 years, this world is going to perish because, like, with the baby booms and all that stuff in the 50s, there was so much milk that was that, rich houses and rich families, they were going through 4 to 6 bottles a day of milk. And it's at that point we're doing the exact same stuff, but we're not looking at the past again. We're not looking at the fear that these people had and tried to warn us about. And I bet you anything I'm going to go in here and half of their drinks are not going to be able to get. Can't be a vegan pizza if you don't have vegetables for it, Beth. Hey, Eli, how you doing, brother? Sorry, I've been driving. Yeah, Klingon. Yeah. And see, Klingon lives, in LA. So what I'm saying is, not fear mongering, it's actually happening. The train robberies, they have gone to actually robbing supply trains. And these trains aren't just like food or anything. It's everything from vaccines to COVID tests to TVs to clothing, designer handbags. All this stuff is being taken. Hey, Spitfire, brother.
Hey, what's up, Spitfire?
But, you could say, well, they're not just going for food. They could be going for anything else that's on top of this.
Yeah, just about everything. Anything they
Right.
can get away with.
Yeah. I mean, they can take
We have
whatever.
dollar stores around here that had to actually move to other locations because people were robbing them blind. Regular little
Right.
dollar stores.
Yeah. It's
A couple of them shut down.
I don't. It's got to that point. This is actually turning into, quote unquote, the zombie apocalypse. And, the term zombie means somebody willing to do anything and everything to get what they need to supply and take care of themselves. they've just turned it into a monster kind of thing. But it's got to the point where people are robbing trains and robbing supply trucks and taking it for themselves. And they don't care what they do, they don't care how they handle it. And there's even the scavengers that are still, for every one person that they arrest, there's 5 other people there that's picking up the remnants of what that person couldn't get. And it's littered all over the train tracks. It's not just going into the the supply boxes. It's also the stuff that's been thrown out and laying on the ground, and people are literally picking up the remnants of whatever that was thrown out. You know, it's not just one man, Bama. It's a lot of people in the government that are, excuse my language, but fucking up the world. It's got to that point where these people that's never once had to worry about whether I'm keeping my lights on or paying my car payment, or am I going to be able to buy enough groceries for this week? They've never had they've never actually lived in the real world. They've never had fear. And they believe that it's okay. Everything's fine. Everything will replenish itself over time. And it's not true.
I was
Yeah,
thinking.
like what?
I was
Yeah,
thinking
brother.
about something that popped up in my mind. Uh, uh, it's a. I heard about these robberies, but
Yeah.
train robberies. I heard about that. But what's concerning me is in my for us here in Sweden
Mm-hmm.
is that a couple of days ago there were 3 Russian landing ships, uh, and they entered the Baltic Sea.
Right.
So we send reinforcements to Gotland
Yeah.
to have extra personnel on Gotland because we see them as a threat because they have interfered on our territorial water before.
Right.
And 3 large Russian landing ships.
Hmm.
We send up GAS 39 Griffin.
Right. Yeah.
And we're to keep an eye on them. But what I heard now, they have left the Baltic Sea. And that is
Okay.
worrying because Russia has problems with Ukraine, and they probably will invade Ukraine. But the
Right.
problem is if they send their ships from the Kola Peninsula
Mm-hmm.
and try to get their ships to Kaliningrad, they have to, and they interfere on Baltic Sea because Gotland is close to Kaliningrad. And if they
Yeah.
interfere on our territorial water, it's high security risk for us because they interfere on our territorial water, and they can't do that.
Right.
And they are afraid. They don't like NATO. Russia has never liked NATO, and they
Yeah.
don't like EU either. And
Hmm.
what Russia is afraid of, that is that Sweden will join NATO.
Yeah.
They don't want that. They are really afraid of that. And
Right.
what I have heard recently is they have made a poll here in Sweden that they got the question if Sweden should join NATO or not, and most of the population here in Sweden wants a NATO membership,
Right.
and I don't remember the percentage, but it was a bit higher than it has been before. And
Yeah.
I say we should join NATO and go cancel the
And
membership in EU, because EU is total mess. I don't like EU myself because
right.
they mess things up. In
Oh
my
yeah.
opinion, and what I also heard was that Sweden will be forced to join NATO sooner or later, no matter what.
Yeah.
And we have to strengthen our military defenses.
Hey Mo,
So
brother.
So we need to mobilize more. So that is why we're working on it, because we have cut down on our military because we didn't need it. But now,
Hmm.
now
Now everything's rising up.
and now things have changed. So now we
Yeah.
need to build up our military defenses again.
Right.
And I think we have to join NATO. When we do that, Russia will not like that at all.
Yeah.
And the problem is Sweden. We are our neighbor countries are Norway, and then we have Finland. We have our borders in the north to to Finland, and if we go west, you have Norway. But we have our borders to part of Russia as well, in the northern parts of our country.
Right.
So, and
So you
Sweden,
need to protect.
yeah, and the problem is Sweden has, and the relations between Russia and Sweden, it is some tensions because they are afraid that we are going to join NATO, but we have no membership in NATO yet. But
Yeah.
we will probably be forced to do so, and we cannot. Those who don't want to join NATO here, they will have to accept it because we have no choice.
Yep.
So,
That's one of the problems. It doesn't matter what country you're in, you're still going to have that small percentage of people that are going to be against whatever turn of events that happens that they do not like. But here in America, it just takes a small group of people to turn around anything and make the government question whatever acts that they wish to do. But if it's something to protect the country from a major threat, say, I mean, Russia, Russia's what, 2 times the size of Sweden? I mean, so that means their military force is already twice what yours is just by the population alone, you know?
Russia is
And
probably not twice the size as
how is
Sweden.
it
They are
not?
probably maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 times bigger than us.
Yeah.
And they have an
So,
army. They have an army of, uh, let's say, a couple of million,
hmm
probably a million, 1.5 million, 2, 3 million people in the
right.
army, and we have only 800,000 men.
See, yeah,
So, well, do the math.
yeah. It's one of those things. I mean, just the population size alone, that means, you could be overran at a moment's notice, and it's not just overrunning population. It's also controlling your supply chains. It's also controlling, you know, anything and everything, imports, exports, all this stuff that comes in or out of your country that they could be in control of. So it's that's more to fear on top of just the everyday struggle that's going on, like what's happening right now, lack of food, lack of resources. How can, how are we able, how is this government able to support that many mouths to feed on top of already an ammunition shortage that's going on nationwide? I mean, you're every country's getting hit hard and getting hit from all angles. It's not just one angle. Like here in Texas, they just opened up a Patriot Act where anybody and everybody can have a gun and can carry it around without a license or anything. And it's to protect against domestic terrorism, right? And but here's the thing: you can buy guns. Guns aren't an issue, but the ammo for the guns we have a shortage on. You can't even buy 9mm ammo, which is one of the basic, you know, ammunitions, and it's already out. There's uh, ammunition stores that are literally having people only able to buy 1 to 2 boxes of ammunition a week. So how can we even how can we keep up with the supply and demand of not just food, but anything that is to do with our own protection? We can't keep up with here in America. That's not talking about other countries, because it's worse in other countries that have gun laws, where half the people can't even get a gun in other countries without like 5 or 6 special permits. And yeah, yeah, Bama. I just right, Aquarius. Yeah, but I mean, this world's getting to a point where you can't even get the items you need to protect your own home in America. And it's going to get to a point where people are literally going to go to a point where they're going to be stabbing other people in grocery stores just to get specific items, because it's going to be at that point where we can't keep up with it. Right, Aquarius. That's what I've been trying to say, but I just couldn't come up with the right wording. But it's getting to that point, you know. We were able to take care of people 100 to 200 years ago, because 90% of the people had victory farms. They had the land to be able to grow whatever that they needed to take care of the items that they could not get at the store. Um, but now it's to the point where nobody knows how to even grow or take care of livestock, or they live in a place that has an HOA where they can't even grow anything. They can't even have a basic garden in their backyard because somebody else doesn't want, because their neighbor doesn't want an infestation of bugs in their house. So they can't have a garden. It's we have allowed too many people to say no. Sorry, I'm turning my camera off so I can go in here. Um, it's got to the point where you just can't. Um, hey, how you doing? Oh, doing all right. It's got to a point where there's somebody always telling you you can't do this, or you can't have that, or it's against this person's, you know, right. Oh, hold on. I think I got somebody. All right, I'll check that out in a minute, Shadow. But you know, when it gets to a point where you can't even grow for yourself, or you know, take care of your family because somebody else says that they don't feel comfortable with you doing that. I mean, we all might as well just lay down and, you know, give up. Take care, Klingon. Take care, sister. It is. I don't know. I'm afraid of our next generation. Right? that's the thing. You can't pray for normal because we have forgotten as a civilization what normal is. I mean, a lot of our older generation here in America. So, a lot of our generation, like the older generation here in America, their normal was completely different than our normal, and it's to a point where no, ma'am, that'll be it. No, no, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You have a great one too, and be careful tonight. No problem. Take care. Sorry about that. But like my generation, you know, my my millennial generation. Ooh, crap! I dropped my phone. Well, yeah, I didn't break it, but like my millennial generation, it depends on where you were raised. It depends on your aunts, your grandparents. It depends on how you were raised. Depends on what your normal was. Like my normal was waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, milking 300 head of cattle, taking care of animals, growing a garden, you know, doing normal, what I thought was normal. We didn't even have running water because, like, sorry. Um, but then there's other set of millennials of my same age that were raised in cities that were raised completely different with technology. There and but now with all the new generations, Generation Z, X, Y, whatever number of the alphabet, that's never had to worry about any of this stuff because they were raised in an era where they had everything and anything at a moment's notice and they could buy it with any amount of cash. Take care, Aquarius, brother. And it's to that point where these next generation, these last 2 to 3 generations that's came through that are hurting our society, that are hurting our way of thinking, our way of actually taking care of ourselves. See, that's the thing, Misty. You know, there is a small percentage a small percentage of children now that are willing to listen, willing to learn. They don't even enforce Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts into schools anymore because they say that's plagiarism. I mean, not plagiarism, like a um a single mentality thought process, even though it's been around for the last 100 years, and it teaches people, it teaches children how to survive, how to help others, how to be a better, be a better civilian. But, the rest of them have never even set foot outside into the wilderness. They don't even know what is out past their backyard, because all they do is just sit and play fantasy games.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. There's a lot of people that don't know how to cook.
mhm,
They don't even know how to turn on the stove. Even
right.
they go
I
out to a
mean,
restaurant. Pretty
yeah,
much, you ever go to Burger King, McDonald's? That's their life.
yeah. I saw somebody, my Miss Star, she watches TikTok a lot and everything. And there was a college student in his 20s that never made spaghetti. He didn't even know how to boil water. And
Actually,
he
yeah,
didn't
I've
know
run
how to,
into a couple of people like
yeah,
that. They can't even boil water. Like, really?
yeah,
Can't boil water?
yeah. He didn't even know to break
Yeah.
he didn't even know how to break the spaghetti and put it in. He just left it. He put half of it in and left half of it out, and it caught on fire in his dorm. Like,
Oh, jeez.
yeah, I mean, and these are the people that we are relying our next generations to follow. Like, they can't even do simple, mundane tasks.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's getting to a point where simple using common sense is nobody has common sense anymore. And that's okay, Like, they can't think for themselves. And if they do need to think of something, all they have to say is 2 words: "Hey Google," and there
Right.
you go. So yeah, I guess I was in a different thing. I really never played video games, Spit. Like, I was all the time out in the wilderness. I was hunting at the age of 5. I was bringing home squirrels and rabbits and possums because, yeah, we had a farm. We had pigs and everything, but those pigs were more for bartering. Like, if my grandparents needed something, they would take the sow to the market, you know? And we didn't kill it and put it on the table. Yeah, yeah, see? Like what Misty said, like it's probably me, Misty. I'm sorry. I I growl sometimes. Hey, Smoking Joe, how you doing, sis? But
Hey, Smoking
the
Joe.
the fear is real, and I would rather wake people up than have going into the next 5 years and not knowing I tried to help, that I tried to make people see what's going on. just saw a dairy truck drive by. That's the first dairy truck I've seen drive by in like 2 weeks. And see, that's one of the natural resources that Texas doesn't have plenty of is milking cows. We have we have beef cows, but we don't have milking cows. So, I mean, yeah, we have a lot of goat, you know, goat farms and everything, but goat milk isn't the same as, cow milk. Yeah, that was the same with me, Misty. But it's one of those things, this. So how is everything on your side of the pond, Shadow? Like, I mean, are y'all is Sweden experiencing food shortages or anything?
Not what I have seen yet, but some groceries I have noticed is shortage. Shortages. I can't speak today, obviously.
Shortages? Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you, brother. Don't worry.
On some groceries, on the those who deliver from the central
Like a supply hub.
from the central storage.
Mm.
The grocery store I work for, they have a storage central storage where they ship everything out from.
Right.
To have every grocery store of the same, who has the same name as my grocery store I work at for.
Oh, okay. Your supply factory, kind of.
Yeah, supply factory. Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
They have some. They have shortages of some groceries, yes, but they will. They get more of it when they, but it takes some time on some groceries. But most of the time, our shelves are pretty filled up, so we don't have not that many holes on our shelves.
Okay.
But
See, that's good.
But the food prices has gone up.
Increased.
So yeah.
See, that's like that's the same thing that's happening here also. The things that we do have in stock, they have increased in price. It's that supply and demand kind of thing. It's mostly like fresh fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. Because like oranges, we don't have oranges here in Texas. So we have to import it from, say, Florida or, Mississippi, places like that, and that increases the price of it. And I think it's gone up like $2 per pound for natural resources, for like vegetables and fruit. But anything that's been processed, like, see, we have our local grocery store. It's called HEB, and they have a supply chain, a supply factory that they make their own food and everything with with the grocery store name brand on it. But the thing is we don't have enough CDL drivers to deliver the to deliver the produce, or to deliver whatever items that we need. And it's worse because any name brand
You're
we're
breaking up, Matt.
running out of.
There
Oh,
you go. You're coming
am
back.
I? Oh,
Yeah, you're
crap.
breaking up for a few minutes,
Okay.
but
So,
you're back.
thank you, brother. Sorry. But like any of the name brand stuff that we have to have imported into the state is, on a supply chain, it's getting to the point where, like, I mean, y'all saw, you saw when I was walking around that grocery store. I mean, there was complete aisles that were completely empty, like nothing on those shelves. And it was so empty that they took the shelves away, and it's just empty. But also, I mean, we have a population, like what Scout said, y'all only have like 800,000 people, like just in San Antonio alone, we have like 4 million people just in San Antonio, this city. That's not talking about Houston and Dallas and all these other major and smaller cities throughout Texas. And Texas is supposed to be the land of milk and honey, Like, supposedly Texas is the only state that has enough supply and demand that they can succeed from the other states and be their own country. But it's showing that that's a lie now because of what's going on. Yeah, spit. But we do grow limes and lemons and stuff like that, but like major citrus fruit, we don't really grow. We grow more of like watermelons and gourd fruit than we do anything else. And yeah, Misty, I mean, if you're trained to if you're trained at an early age in survival, you can survive. It's going to be tough because most wilderness, most wild edibles and everything now in major cities have been destroyed, um, because there's so many citizens anymore, and they are moving out of the compact cities and moving out into rural areas and buying, wild wilderness, and so they can get out of the cities. And in doing that, they would rather destroy whatever natural resources are there in their land than let it grow, because they don't care, because they haven't had to survive like that. Sorry, I'm trying to read. Hey Vegas, how you doing, sis?
Hey, Vegas.
The problem is we
Well,
have people.
yeah, there's a lot of people hoarding stuff. Yeah. But,
Oh yeah.
back God, when they were hoarding all the toilet paper, Walmart actually had to get police stand guard over the toilet paper to keep people from hoarding it. And
Yes.
you're probably going to see that with food and other things. You're going to see like police just standing guard over certain aisles.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially, I mean, and that's one of the things, like people don't understand that a lot of this food is still processed, like even regular meat and stuff, it doesn't have the sell by date like what it used to be. Like let's say like processed ham or deli meat or anything like that. They usually, I've noticed that I bought a thing of ham and it lasted maybe 2 weeks before it started going bad and started to actually decompensate inside of my fridge.
Yeah,
And I didn't even open it. Yeah. And that's one of the things, there's so many people that have been against preservatives and the stuff that our grandparents and our great grandparents did. Like, you can't even find country ham anymore that's been salt cured in stores anymore, because so many people have health problems with salt or certain types of preservatives and stuff like that. So now it's pretty much all natural meat anymore, and it has a horrible shelf life on it. Hey Nubby, how you doing, brother?
Oh, hey, Nubs.
Well, it's also the price increase and everything of like hamburger meat and stuff is because they can't put the preservatives in it, and most people want all natural meat anymore. So they these businesses have to find a way to not only please a certain amount of crowd, but also to help people with health benefits and all this stuff, like salt. Salt is a natural preservative, but they can't put salt in basic meat anymore to preserve it. So that's why that price of that, 10 years ago, $12 chub of meat is now $40. And it's also because most places, like in the Midwest, having to ship that stuff out to, say, out in the East or out west or anything like that, that goes into the price of gas, that goes into the worker's salary, that goes into a lot of other things, and that's why prices of everything has shot up in price. Yeah, salt is needed to survive, but the thing is we've contaminated our food processing with so much sodium in it that we have created these health problems within civilization. So now salt is needed in small quantities to survive, but the mass amount of salt that we put in so much stuff is ridiculous now. I mean, like fruit juice now has salt in it, has sodium, and like a 6-ounce cup of cranberry juice anymore has your 100% daily value of sodium intake in it. And then you see people drinking, 24 to 48 ounces of that juice that has, that you're only supposed to take 6 ounces of it. And because we just don't care and we don't look at that as a bad thing anymore. Right, sis, right. Yeah, natural salt. Like natural salt from meat and, meat and juice and, vegetables and stuff like that is what we need. But companies added salt to everything to preserve it. Sorry, I've been on a tangent for like the last 2 hours. I'm probably boring people with trying to wake people up. I really don't. I just want people to be prepared within the next coming years, but yeah, I heard like Europe, I mean, like London. One of the guys that I support and everything, I supported him for a long time. Shadow was Funky Prepper. He lives in London, and he went on a tangent like maybe 2 weeks ago on one of his live streams, and the grocery store that is down the street from his house was completely bare shelved. Like they didn't even have any fresh meat or anything. It was just basic canned food that was still on the shelf.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
Well, buddy, I have to go. I need to prepare for work now.
All right,
The,
brother.
the time is 7 o'clock now, so
Mm.
I begin work in 1 hour. So I need to.
Oh, yeah, you take care of yourself, Shadow brother. Thanks for coming up. You're always welcome here, brother.
Good to know.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Later, Shadow.
Take care.
Take care, brother.
God bless. Stay safe.
You too, brother.
Will do.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. It's the fear factor, and of 2021 was nothing compared to what's going to happen in the next 5 years. And because even one of the economic researchers of Harvard said that it would take nearly 30 years for humanity to rebuild and to restock everything that we've already depleted because of the and they said the reason why it's going to take 30 years is because the mass amount of humans that are in civilization now. Because there's going to be more humans taking away from the stockpiles that we have and that we're trying to save than the stockpiles that we have coming back in to replenish what little what little that we have already taken away from our stockpiles. So it's it's come to the point that we are just now we're now fighting we're now fighting to resupply, and it's got to a point where it's not going to replenish as fast as it should. Here you go, Miss Star. Here is your drink.
I was just worried that you like had your blood sugar dip or something.
No, I'm good. I'm on a live stream. Yeah. Uh, Miss Star is she's cosplaying. She has a wig and horns on
Uh-oh.
and working. Yeah. She she does this she does that stuff just to get through her work day.
hmm
And people at her work when she does meetings and stuff, they're like, "What are you wearing?"
Yeah, right.
Yeah. She's like, "I'm just having fun."
hmm Oh yeah. Sometimes you got to do stuff like that.
Yes, sir. All right, take care, Vegas. This. No, really, Misty. Yeah, I don't think, I really don't think we're going to be able to build back up because the government has been buying out so many livestock farms throughout the Midwest and turning them into FDA specific farms. There's 3 farms that's not even 5 miles away from me, cattle farms that they ended up selling their whole entire acreage, their livestock, and everything to the Texas government to become an FDA farm. Um, I know there was one of my friends that's a farmer. Um, he sells Angus beef, and he was at the stockyard selling 500 head of cattle, and FDA, people from the actual government here in Texas and everything came and bought all 500 head of cattle from him and told him that they would take it and put them in stockyards on the FDA farms. And they came back to him 2 weeks later after they already paid him. They paid him almost like close to $1 million for all 500 head of cattle, right?
Hmm.
And the representatives of the FDA farm came to his farm and said that um, they don't have any way of loading up these cows to take to the FDA farm, and he needs to euthanize all 500 head of that cattle
Yeah,
and dispose of the
yeah.
bodies.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that too. They're doing stuff like that,
Hmm. Oh yeah.
killing off all their cows and chickens and other animals.
Yep. Well, it's just like, okay, Tyson, one of the biggest names in chicken producers, right? They, they have chicken farms where, and they send all the newly hatched babies, and they go into they sex them to see which ones are females, which ones are males, and they take every single male rooster and throw them into a box away from the female chickens and put it into a gas chamber and kill the roosters and with gas instead of raising those roosters up and selling them as the same meat as the female chickens. And they go through thousands of baby roosters a day and euthanize them every day. And for what purpose? Why are we getting rid of the same breed of chicken that will feed the exact same people just because they're a male that we have to kill them? Why? I don't
Oh, that's
understand it.
oh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Misty. Yeah, they tell, like, if they can't, the way the FDA has it is if they can't get to a milk source, because my grandfather had a dairy, and if they can't get to the milk source within 2 days, it's considered rancid. So so they'll still pay the farmer for that milk, but the thing is they can't put it out as drinkable milk. So they have you dump it out or feed it to your livestock or something like that because it wasn't reached within a certain time limit. It has to be it has to be collected within 24 hours and put into an instant chill container and then sent on. Right. It, it's one of those things. We are getting rid of so much meat and resources that can be used, and that's why we're going into these shortages, is because we're killing 1,000 plus roosters a day. That is if you kill that rooster and you put that rooster on the table, it's going to taste exactly like that female chicken. I mean, and you're not going to know if it was a male or a female. And oh yeah, Misty, no, they can't give it to people that need it because they are not able to collect that on their taxes at the end of the year because they get paid for all the disposed meat that is considered the roosters or whatever breed of animal it is. They have to be euthanized and they have to be disposed of properly. They can't just be given away. They have one male rooster for every 100 female chickens to continue their livestock breeding. Yes, but yeah. I mean, and like with canned food has an expiration date on it, yes, but it is preserved and is canned for a reason to be preserved for longer. Humans are the ones that put a expiration date on cans so that they can restock. And the majority of humans say, "Oh, this is out of date, so it's bad." But that can of tuna that you just bought is still good 3 years later after the expiration date
Oh yeah.
because of the way it's canned.
Hmm.
But we're throwing it away. Like in the 50s, there wasn't expiration dates on canned food. We just started doing that in the last 50 years. Right, Misty. It's just one of those things. It's to make humans feel more comfortable. It's people saying, "Oh, this is going out of date, so throw it away, go to the store, resupply with the exact same things that you just threw away, and continue the cycle of wastefulness." Because if they let something go out of date and they go back to the store and buy that exact same thing, you think they're going to eat that same exact item tomorrow? No, it's going to sit on the shelf and it's going to go bad, quote unquote bad, again. Right, Misty. And see, I was brought up the same way, but I was also brought up to not let people know what you have either. You know, like it's one of those things is if you know somebody is starving or whatever, bring them, bring them food. Don't let them know what you have, because like like in today's standards, if somebody knows that you have a stockpile of food and they're starving, you're the first person on their list that they're going to come to and rob or take from. And it sounds hateful saying it like that, but it's either your life or somebody else's life, and you need to protect yourself before anybody else, you know. And I hate saying that. And I'm the person that on my birthday and on Christmas and stuff like that, I will go and make survival bags for homeless people. And I'll stock it with food, clothes, anything that would help them get through the year, you know. But it it makes me feel selfish when somebody looks at my, like when somebody gets close to my prepping area with all my food and everything, and I'd either pull out a gun at them and say back away from it so they don't see what I have, then let them know. And it's kind of like a vice versa, it's like I'll protect that area with a gun, and it'll make them wonder, what am I hiding in there? So that puts a mark on my back also, you know what I mean? If I'm willing to pull a gun out at a certain room, that means there's something of value in there or whatever, and that means that they're going to come at me if something bad does happen. So I don't know. Yeah, Misty. It's just one of those things, and it makes me feel good to help, but only to a certain extent, you know. Because if you're too nice, people will remember that niceness, and if end times do come, you're the one person that they know that they can come to and overuse that niceness. And I don't want to be on that receiving end. I don't want to be the person that will put a bullet into somebody to protect my family because I was nice to a certain point. Yeah, Misty. I just, I'm, s- I'm scared of what's going to happen, David. I seriously am.
Oh yeah, so am I.
Yeah,
Yeah, the shelves are getting empty. Government's hoarding certain medications and other things. I know they
right.
stockpiled a lot of ammunition and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. It's, it's not just one it's not just one thing, you know, it's a landslide of everything that's
Pretty
finally
much, yeah.
collapsing in. I just, you know, I'm not a person that really fears a lot of things, but I fear humans because humans are the ones that you don't know what they'll do. And, you know, I could, if it was a real zombie apocalypse or, you know, a nuclear fallout or something, I could be prepared for that. I could understand it. I'd be like, yeah, I knew this would happen. But when brother turns on brother, father against son,
Hmm.
that's something different, you know? That that's the thing I fear. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, Misty. You know, I don't have a problem putting a bullet in somebody. I don't have a problem defending my land. But I would rather not. You know what I mean? I would rather I'd rather sit in my 7 acres in the middle of the woods and nobody knows where I am. And only protect my land if I have to. But things like YouTube, things, social media, stuff like that, you know, even preppers used to be a community where they were quiet, where didn't they weren't a part of civilization. They they were really hermits, you know. But now with stuff like YouTube and, you know, people like me that is trying to help people is really I'm putting that knife to my own throat, showing people how to survive, how to take care of themselves in a situation like this. And I let people know what I have without even realizing it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
My grandfather would have, if he was still alive, he would have slapped me stupid for doing YouTube and showing people all this stuff that I am doing, you know. But I'm not that person, you know. I'm not that cold-hearted person. I want people to protect themselves and not be a victim, not be not be screwed over, and to open their eyes and realize everything has a pro and a con. Right, Misty? Yeah, it's just the generation that I came from, it was they looked out for each other and helped each other if needed, but when push came to shove, it was them or us, It was you're not going to take that piece of meat out of you know, out of my wife's mouth to feed you. I'm sorry. It's like just because you didn't it's what is that old story, David? The grasshopper and the ant, where the grasshopper used the ant for so long, then
Hmm.
when winter came, the ant let the grasshopper die.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It My
Yeah. The
grandfather told
answer
me
all
that
cropped
story.
up. Yep. Oh, I
Yeah.
think. Uh, I think that
Yeah,
was
like
made into a
the
couple cartoons too.
oh, was it?
I think. Yeah.
I just know that was the first lesson my grandfather taught me about prepping, you know, and it really shows you like the reality of it, like the reality of how humans are. And if you're not prepared and you're not taking care of yourself and your family, and you give that one slight bit of humanity to an individual for so long that it'll snap and you will turn into that person to let the other person die. Thank you, Misty. You take care, sister. You have a good night. Get some rest.
Right. Uh, yeah. Good night, Misty.
But yeah, I'll probably go to get off here at
Mhm.
like 3 minutes. I just, I don't know. I'd rather, I'd rather help the people that I consider family on here, David.
Oh yeah.
And that's why, like whatever, I guess I'll say this to, whoever whoever listens to the very end, it doesn't matter that extra $5 a week goes for preps for a longer term.
Hmm.
Use that $5 for beans, use that $5 for rice, for oats. I mean, you may not think it's a lot of money, but it does add up every week, that extra $5. You know, put it to something that you're not going to have to worry about. Yeah, Misty, that is true. I just, I talked to somebody the other day at Walmart that it was an older couple. They were like in their 60s, and the the guy was a lawyer, and the wife was like some kind of like surgeon or whatever, and they were looking at bags and like discussing what to do and all this stuff. And they were trying to make bug out bags. And I told them, I said, the easiest thing to do is to bug in, don't bug out, because bugging out means you have to take all your stockpiles and everything with you. And if you don't have the vehicles or the storage space to take what you have in your house with you, it's useless. Because and they looked at me and they were like, you know, you're what you said is true, you know. We didn't think of it like that. We were thinking of like a natural disaster or something where we would have to get away from wherever and not be able to come back. And I was like, then that's not a bug out bag. That's an inch bag. If you're not able to come back home, that 72-hour bug out bag, 3-day bug out bag is not going to help you. You need an inch bag that's at least 100 to 150 liter bag and pack everything in that. And she's like, well, we can't do that because my husband has a bad back. He can't carry a certain amount of stuff. And then I was like, then the whole entire leaving your place is out of the question then, because an inch bag is carrying everything that you own and everything that can help you on your back. And so your best option is to stay at home and prepare and stockpile for whatever bad that's going to happen. And it made me feel good because I actually helped somebody that I didn't even know about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if an attorney and a doctor are worried about it, things
Yeah.
must be getting rough.
Oh yeah. You know, and it's usually just country folk that do it, but now, you know, I'm
Mhm.
seeing it from
Oh, yeah.
every angle. All right, brother. Well, you have a good night, David.
All right. Good night, Matt.
All right,
Good
take
night,
care,
everybody.
brother. Good night, family. Love you all. Take care and make sure that you prepare because times are going to get rough and fast. Good night, everybody. Take care.